if you think of the five major religions, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Muslim faith, and Buddhism, at their extremities, when you read about them and watch them being observed, they're all very, very different, quite distinct, different languages, different ways of worship. As you get into each of those in a little bit more detail, you find all of them promote meditative, contemplative prayer. And the further into those meditative prayer techniques you get into all of those religions, according to B. Griffiths, he says the closer you get to realise that by the time they come down here, they're just all one. There really is one creator, one God. And all of these religions are moving in the same direction, if only we could accept it. For years we've been taught exclusivity. Christians are Christians and no one else. Fortunately, there's an awful lot of Christians now throwing that one out, and I think that's a good move. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I was reading a Theravadan Buddhist meditation teacher, a book called Mindfulness in Plain English. And mindfulness, as someone with mental health problems, mindfulness has been of great use to me.
Yeah.
And he said that Christian meditation, unlike Buddhist meditation, you know, it has relaxation and concentration, but it doesn't have mindfulness. But then I was reading Nicholas de Caussade, the Abandonment to Divine Providence, and that seems to be all about mindfulness. And so would you disagree with that statement?
I personally see mindfulness as being exactly the same. We do it from a very strong Christian basis in WCCM, but we have a lady in our group at St Nicholas Church who's a nurse, and she teaches and deals with lots of people with addictive and mental health problems. And she teaches mindfulness with a psychiatrist colleague. Yeah. And she teaches it without reference to Christianity, because the Christian thing turns so many people off, regrettably. But she teaches exactly the same technique, really. She wouldn't necessarily use Maranatha, but she would use a mantra, and she would use using the breathing technique. And she would encourage people to come to our meditation groups. So, you know, she sees the two as being almost the same. And I think they are the same. The B. Griffith thing about the five major faiths, once you get into the contemplative thing, being all the same, but I understand people wanting to make a distinction, because Christianity has had a bad press, hasn't it, for many years.
Yes. How important is it to sit? Because in terms of mindfulness, there's mindful walking, and there's mindful standing. From a Christian background, there's also prayer walking. I just kind of wonder actually how important it is to sitting posture, particularly people who may have back conditions, those Christianity.
Well, I've come across walking meditations. I've tried them. I've been to some Buddhist groups in the past where they've taught them quite extensively. Seemingly very important, but always alongside the sitting, the stillness meditation. And I can only speak for myself personally, really. I feel when I sit, I've got into a practice over the years where I really can sit still, and I just forget about my problem. The only problem is my mind, my heart sometimes. And I find that the most effective. If I'm walking, I find it difficult. I need to spend some time thinking about that. So I've not found it a really effective practice. But many people would argue very strongly. I don't know if you try it here or not, but many people like it. So I'm probably not the best person to speak to. It's not my favourite, and I've tried it, and I find it very relaxing, but not the same.